Welcome to the Daily BA. My name is Ryan O, and I'm in a very unique position where I can capture content, share it with behavior analysts, people interested in behavioral science like yourself. But that said, I'm just one person. I'm one perspective. One thing I'd like to do on this channel more frequently, as I have opportunities to, is showcase and highlight different people that are doing different things that are unique, exciting, and really focusing on the core of our science, as well as expanding and growing it and disseminating it large. So I'm based here in the lovely Reno, Nevada. I recently had the opportunity though to go to Miami and showcase a company called BehaviorMe. They're a diverse group of people in entrepreneurship and behavior analysis, and they're merging the two together. We sat down to talk about a bunch of different things. This is the first of those episodes. Ready? Welcome to the Daily BA. Today is our first, you guys are gonna be my first official guest. All right, so I'm sitting here with Andy, Annie, and Chris. We're missing a fourth member, which is Andrea. Yes. So introduce yourselves real quick and like your background, who you are, whatever.
Wow.
Give me a quick little pitch.
My name is Andy, co-founder of BehaviorMe, business and strategic development. We'll get into what BehaviorMe is in a little bit.
Hi everyone, I'm Annie. I am a behavior analyst and I'm also one of the co-founders of BehaviorMe.
Hey, I'm Chris. I just do most of the financials and internal stuff at BehaviorMe.
And then Andrea.
She is also one of the behavioral scientists at BehaviorMe. She's a PhD candidate at UF.
Cool.
She keeps our science true.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah, we'll have to get into your dynamic. So first the company, what you guys do, and then in the dynamic, because I like that there's two people in two different realms. Right. We ran into each other at Association of Behavior Analysis International's Denver annual conference, like what was that, 9 months ago now?
9 months ago, yeah.
Yeah, and it was because of carrying, not these cameras, because I lost the camera, but it was carrying these
Yeah,
cameras.
you're carrying a camera. I'm like, this dude just does not look like he belongs here. But wait a minute, what's he doing with that footage? And my opening question to you what are you doing with that footage?
Yeah. So I just slid out of a talk and I was trying to catch some B-roll for what might have ended up turning into this channel. I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. And ran into Andy. And so, yeah, we hit a couple different business-related talks.
Yep.
And that's kind of why we're hanging out and talking now, I think.
Yep.
So BehaviorMe, let's jump into that. What is BehaviorMe?
So BehaviorMe is the science of human behavior meeting the technology of virtual reality. So in short, we're designing, modeling, testing virtual reality from a behavior analytics standpoint. And we've done so far 3 simulations over the last couple of months. We have a couple of beta testers, some strategic partnerships. And so from the business perspective, the idea is to create something that helps the world and helps individuals with autism spectrum disorder or related disabilities learn basic life skills. And that's been our jam the last couple of months. We've been moving forward at light speed. There's been ups and downs, and it's been a lot of fun.
So that was one of the things that we actually resonated on together when I first met you all at that conference. Was there's 2 routes, it seems like, if I were to like grossly categorize them, of this startup hustle, build something, create value, and then this startup or set up a business that's pretty much been modeled out already, right? Not that there's not models over here, but this one's kind of like there's established funding streams for what it is that you're going for, and I think both are equally respectable and needed. But this one's very different for behavior analysts, I think.
Absolutely,
It's a little bit scary.
Yeah, I think it's scary for everyone. That's the whole idea of like the startups culture, right?
Yeah.
The two of you both studied entrepreneurship, correct?
Right.
So what were you pitched as, like, if we gave everyone that's listening here, like, what is entrepreneurship from what you guys were taught?
Entrepreneurship is, you're creating value by leveraging resources and exploiting opportunities.
Exploiting opportunities, right? Leveraging resources and exploiting opportunities.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, entrepreneurship isn't always making a profit. It isn't always, making as much revenue as you can. It's not finding investors. It's just creating value for someone and going hard at it.
Yeah.
Cool.
that's in line with behavior analysis as well. We also create value in the different therapies that we produce and different interventions that we implement.
Yeah,
Very similar.
There's a lot of people and more talks. At least I've only been going to conventions, I guess that's like 7 or 8 years. But there's definitely been what seems an uptick in the number of talks that are about that sort of stuff. And how the two can influence each other, I guess, and really work with each other. So
I think it's a great sort of overlap, and I know one of the great parts of being in a startup and being in BehaviorMe is being able to see our two behavioral scientists see the overlap and the resemblance in the VB between behavior analysis and entrepreneurship. And this is specifically towards one of our mentors, one of our greatest inspirations, one of our professors, Dr. Morris. And the VB that he uses is very similar to the VB that is used in behavior analysis, just in a different sort of perspective and point of view. And to quote him, and I don't know if he got this quote from someone else, I don't know, who knows. Entrepreneurship is about having a tolerance for ambiguity.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Right.
Yes.
Having a tolerance for ambiguity. And as scientists, as engineers, and this not only applies to behavior analysts, but it applies to engineers, it applies to scientists, it applies to a lot of different fields. Ambiguity is not something that you aim for, right? Neither do entrepreneurs, but you have to have an incredible tolerance towards ambiguity, because a lot of times that we are self-reflective and self-examining of our direction or our core values. There's a lot of ambiguity. There's a lot of ambiguity in what is next, right? Tomorrow's not promised. We might go and we might completely fail, and we might not do anything with it, or we might completely succeed. So we're gonna have to be tolerant of that very wide gap that is just an unknown, right? Until you do it.
There's no formula. There's no roadmap, really. It's just like starting from something from scratch, and there's no one really telling you where to go, what to do. You're just like creating it all you're just like kind of making decisions and hoping it works. Yeah. You know?
What were some of the strategies that you guys point to that kind of have led to you getting this far?
Having almost sort of a polar opposite within the group dynamics, in that Chris and I tend to lean towards the break things and things and move fast, versus Andrea and Annie tend to be more reserved and say, wait a minute guys, we need to do this research, we need to make sure we're not stepping on anyone's toes, and it sort of balances out, and it's worked in our favor so far, and I think it should continue to work in our favor.
That balance of not only like specialties, but also kind of like demeanors, like me and Annie are kind of like quiet, and even though I'm a break things, so like me and you're the like similar in one sense, and then Annie and Andrea are similar, but then me and Annie are similar, and then in that kind of way. So like Andy and Andrea are kind of like they're loud, and they can
very outspoken,
we can be more blunt, and they won't be so blunt, but then
it's like a mutual like Venn diagram of sorts. It's really lovely.
It's a very interesting dynamic, and it's worked out so far. I think it's interesting. Like we get asked questions sometimes about why is your team the team to do BehaviorMe, right? And we spoke about this a couple weeks ago, and I think we periodically speak about it sometimes. We're stubborn. We're stubborn. Like we're so stubborn, but it's also a matter of being stubborn, but also being coachable, right? So, dude, we've pivoted and refocused so many times. We've been on the brink of just saying, F this, let's just drop it and like get real jobs and like 9 to 5. And it's never happened. And for some reason or other, not for some reason, for obvious reasons, we've been prepared. We can answer questions appropriately. People have found value in what we're doing. whether it would be in the behavioral industries or in entrepreneurship, in startups, in business, in virtual reality, in tech. They've seen something. Not all people have seen something, right? We've been rejected multiple times, right? Multiple times. And you also have to be tolerant of rejection, right? That's a huge component of this. We're in the trough of sorrow, and that is
The trough of sorrow.
The trough of sorrow is something that's known within the tech fields and the startup fields. It's that period in time where nothing's going right? Where shit hit the fan. You just have to like clean up, gather yourself up. If you need to take some time off, some time off and figure it out.
Yeah. How many months have you been going at it now?
More or less on this route since August with autism, virtual reality, basic life skills.
Like 4 or 5 months. 5 months.
Yeah.
5 months. 5 months. But with virtual reality and behavior analysis since January 2017. Even before that, we were still around, but we were completely different. We were named a different company. We were addressing different issues, and that's part of the process, right?
Yeah.
We function multiple times and multiple periods of time under a different premise, under thinking about behavior analysis and fears and anxieties, right? Behavior analysis or student anxieties, behavior analysis and web-based portals. We didn't even have virtual reality at that point. So those multiple pivots, you kind of learn it. We're like teenagers trying to find ourselves.
It's like an existential
and I think
crisis.
we finally found ourselves at some point.
Wow.
Is that the phone call?
That is the phone call.
That is insane.